Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you joined us here today because you are going to love creating this cute little frog. Okay, so I've done a nice close-up of his face and I'm going to start with the outline because I want to colour the whole thing in a solid colour, and I've got this really great little combination of colours that I'm going to show you today. And the first one I'm using is the Posca pen in Coral, and I'm going to just do one nice thin layer all around. Just got Bert there so it can help me prop up the rock, because I already know that I've stuck my finger in wet paint, but that's okay. You can always tell I've always got paint all over my fingers, so that's all good. Okay, so good old nice coverage of coral there, and that's going to be my background color, and I've got some yellow. Okay, that one's on the way out, so we're running out of yellow in that one. I'll give it a shake, but I might just swap it over for another one. Yeah, I'll just use the bigger pen. So as the pens start to run out, they get a little bit watery. You can see the difference of colour that's coming out. Now I'm just giving that a little bit of scribble of some yellow paint on his, it's not really his tummy, is it? His chest, sort of that chest and neck area. And then I've got this fabulous apple green that I'm going to come around and paint. See, that one's running out too. So my goal this week was to get through all my pens and find out which ones are running out and which ones I can continue on with. So I'm still using the apple green here, but as they run out of colour, I don't ditch them. I love using them in for washed out backgrounds and things like that. So I'm just putting them in a cup off to the side of my desk, so I know that those ones are on their way out. And you can see they're just a little bit more watery than usual. And that's sort of, it's hard to say because some people also don't shake up their pens properly, and so they're watery and they go, oh, the paint's running out. So you've got, I know that my paint is running out because these pens are about a year old now. So I definitely know that that's one layer. Click over here, and I've done 2 layers here. So you can see the background is actually still 1 layer. I've gone over that little bit of weak area, and I'm going to add the second coat and come in there. Yep, so we want to add 2 thin layers of paint to the frog, and I'm going to keep that background. That's what I was just, sometimes it's hard to think and paint at the same time. So what I'm going to do on the background is leave that as that 1 thin layer. And in all the other areas, I'm just going to pop down a second coat, so you can see the yellow is very vibrant and very opaque with only 2 layers. For a lot of people sort of calling out and saying, no, I need to do like 5 layers of yellow to get it to be nice and opaque. And you don't need to when you're using the right, not the right, but just a good quality pigment in your paint or your paint pens. Okay, so here I've just clicked over, and now we've got the 2 layers. I've got my water, I've got my paintbrush. You can see the white after 2 layers is quite opaque as well. So I'm dipping my paintbrush in the water, wiping it off on a bit of microfiber cloth, and I'm just taking some paint that I've picked up off the pen, and I'm just smushing that around to create some shadow. So shadow's always going to be underneath his mouth and where the eyes, around the eyes, because they're not flat on his head, they sort of bulge out a little bit, so they would throw some shadow onto the frog's head. And just shade that in. I've gone over the eye, the white of the eye, so I'll show you how to fix that in a minute. I'm just letting it dry on the eye. I don't want to fix it while it's wet. So I'm just trying to get it really sort of smushy, and I just add a little bit of the apple green onto the yellow. I'm just making it more watery than I usually do. And that'll just, I don't know why, I just don't see frogs sort of have lots of colours smushing into each other in real life. So we'll try and give it a go on a rock. It's going to be lighter in the middle where his nose protrudes out, so I'll throw some yellow, really watery paintbrush, giving it a watery look through the middle there. I've given time for that green to dry on the eye as well, so now I can come back with my white paint pen and cover over it in one go. So there, it's all back to perfectly white again. And you can see we've just had, you know, using those three colours, we've got like a really cute little colour coverage on our frog there. So this is the colour combination that I'm really loving at the moment. And this is using the red, Posca red, as the shadow colour on top of the coral. And I really like this one. Just making it a bit more watery so it blends out and not too solid. I don't want the red too solid because I almost want to sort of pink it out a little bit. Still make it nice and bright, but not too red. Excuse me. The darker colour being closer to the frog where he throws the shadow. So I'm really loving that little colour combination. Just listen to me go. Okay. But it's sort of something you don't think about because, you know, you're always taught not to wear red and pink don't go together. But I'm really loving it. These two particular shades here. And it's just the regular red, Posca red on top of that coral. Okay, just add a little bit more coral because I don't want too much of a solid line, which I've sort of got around the edges. You can see I'm just using that bit of coral to smush it out. Sort of blend it up a bit. Just keep going until you're happy. Okay, we'll just add a few dots into the shading and that'll help things along a little bit. You know, the thing is you can add the dots and if you don't like them, just use your brush and give it a bit of a smush and blend it in. You don't have to keep something that you're not that fussed on. I always do it, and if I don't like it, cover it up. Add some of your yellow dots onto your frog, adds that little bit more colour onto him. We're nearly finished. So you can see like these rocks just don't take a lot of time. You know, I think once you sort of got your techniques and you're getting used to the ones that you like for yourself, you can create these rocks in 10 minutes. You can see, I don't think this video will go for more than 10 minutes. Add another 5 minutes or so to decide what you want to draw and get your outlines on. And I don't want anything too even about this frog, so I don't want round pupils because I'm spending the week with you just doing scribbly outlines, possibly losing my voice. But you can see I'm going back and forth and giving that real scribble look. And this is just to help all our friends out there that, you know, just for whatever reason, they're just having trouble creating a nice, even line all the way around their images. And this is just showing you that you don't need a perfectly even line. You can just give some scribbles and back and forth like I'm doing. And it's just so cute. Just adds so much personality to the rock. You stop and have a look at it. Decide if you need some highlights or some more scribbles. I'm just going to add in a little bit of white reflection. And this little guy, he's good to go. So I hope you're going to come and share your scribbly little frogs with us over on our Facebook page. And you can find us at Reef Rocks Free Workshops. I can't wait to see you there.